As the debate of the nation address begins, the Vice President, Dr. Aissatou Toure, on Monday assured National Assembly members, among other things, that the proposed civil service pay and grading structures will be presented to Cabinet in its next sitting. A Diaspora mentorship program to capture the developmental potential of migration is being implemented by the International Organization for Migration in coordination with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The International Trade Center, the Gambia, and local government authorities from North Bank and Lower River regions launched the United Nations Trust Fund for Human Security Project. In sports news, Q City's under-15 and under-18 sides both made it to the final of the QCell Youth Cup after intriguing semi-final ties over the weekend. Those were our main headlines. Now the news in detail. Now, in responding to National Assembly members' concerns raised during the debate on the State of the Nation address, the Vice President of the Gambia on Monday assured them, among other things, that the proposed civil service pay and grading structure will be presented to the Cabinet in its next sitting. Reports.
The National Assembly debate on the State of the Nation address concludes with the Vice President responding on behalf of President Barrow to concerns and questions raised by the National Assembly members. The lawmakers debated the President's address as part of the process of scrutinizing the Barrow-led government's development trajectory. The Vice President, Dr. Aissatou Toure's responses cover issues of concern over social matters raised by NAMS during the debate, key among which are on health, agriculture, water, education, the civil service, institutional and legal reforms, and security. Vice President Toure acknowledges the challenges facing sectors of governance, particularly the civil service, and confirms government's measures to address them, one of which is the review of the pay and grading structure of the civil service.
I am pleased to update you that progress is made on this, and Cabinet will be presented with the new civil service pay and grading structure on our next sitting. I have received the document, and Cabinet will be sitting on it on the next sitting.
The debate also highlighted concerns such as challenges facing agriculture, including farmers' access to inputs and the need to revitalize cultivation and production of cotton in the Gambia. In response, Dr. Toure informs the NAMS about government's intervention in addressing the concerns raised, which include empowering mixed farmer centers to ensure farmers have better access to inputs.
The government of the Gambia is in a position to revitalize the cotton production in the growing hub of Upper River region and some parts of Central River region. In the year 2019 to 2020, a consultant was hired to conduct a feasibility study on production and marketing of cotton as a crop in the Gambia.
During the SONA debate by the NAMS, adequate access to clean drinking water is another challenge highlighted. Vice President Toure responds by outlining government's efforts to tackle the problem sustainably.
I think the infrastructure is laid and there are plans for expansion. You all know that. There is a lot of work. You know that most of the water pipes that were laid down were more than 50 years old. Some of them might even be affecting the water quality. And now to deal with that infrastructure, the Minister for Energy came up with a strategic plan. A plan that dealt with that, and it was presented to Cabinet. Cabinet approved it, and those are the things that are unfolding now, and we are beginning to see.
On the government's institutional and legal reform agenda, the Vice President acknowledges challenges facing the process due to what she describes as an inherent weakness in the institutional and legal framework inherited by the government. Dr. Toure also pointed out government's commitments and the strategic actions it has taken thus far to achieve the desired results.
There were inherent weaknesses, and there were assessments that were done. And we are aware of it as a government, but then to give the country the best and to move the democracy forward, you don't just say because this is what is there, we have to do it. Rushing means we're going to lose.
On this last day of the third ordinary session of the Assembly, the Public Appointment Standing Committee's report was adopted on the confirmation of Suleiman Samba and Mary Samba as members of the Judicial Service Commission. The report was adopted without debate, and the appointments of the duo were unanimously confirmed. Mohamed Lamin Choi, QTV News.
The diaspora is a critical contributor to the development of the country through transfer of remittance, skills, knowledge, innovation, and technology. In 2018, President of the Republic, Adama Barrow, described the diaspora as the eighth agent of the country. This has been further manifested by his continuous call for the diaspora to return home and contribute to the development of the country. And this event, organized by IOM in partnership with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, seeks to achieve that. The one-month Diaspora Mentorship Program, dubbed Engaging Diaspora as Mentors for Development, is implemented under a project supporting local and economic development in the Gambia, which is funded by the government of Italy through the Italian Agency for Development Cooperation. The project aims to promote local economic development, diaspora involvement and engagements in countries of origin, youth empowerment, and creation of employment opportunities for youth as ways of mitigating irregular migration. At the orientation meeting on Monday, Suleiman Umar Njai, Permanent Secretary 1 at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, said the government of the Gambia recognizes the increasing critical role of the diaspora in promoting sustainable development, hence the creation of the Diaspora Directorate.
Gambians at home and abroad are the single most important assets of the country. The collective ability to effectively harness our human resources and capital, both at home and abroad, for national development is, therefore, the key to our development as a nation, being a resource-constrained country.
Established in 1951, IOM is the leading intergovernmental organization in the field of migration and is committed to the principle that human and orderly migration benefits migrants and society. Stephen Matete, Program Manager, Migration Management Unit at the IOM's Gambia office, said his office has been supporting the Gambia government to mainstream migration into existing and planned development policies at both the national and local levels.
With that, we can be able to match that skill with the gap that is existing in the country, and it can be addressed. And that is where this particular engagement process we are here for the next 1 month period of time we are going to be working on.
The institutions identified to roll out this program are the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry for Youth and Sports through the National Youth Council, and the Ministry for Health. The technical areas are Diaspora Engagement Expert for the Gambia Diaspora and Migration Directorate, Organizational Management Expert for Youth Associations, and Mental Health and Psychological Support Experts. Ahmad Jeng, a Sweden-based Gambian, is one of the mentors designated to provide skills and knowledge transfer to the Gambian Diaspora Directorate at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, International Cooperation, and Gambians abroad.
My role is to look at how the Gambian diaspora, of course, very important element of our country, how they can be part of the development of this country, but also how the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the government as a whole can harness their potentials to participate in nation building.
It is reported that over 200,000 Gambians currently live in the diaspora. The mentors are expected to organize training sessions in their area of expertise, develop a work plan, and create relevant training materials during their 1 month stay in the country. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cissé.
On Tuesday, launched the United Nations Trust Fund for Peace and Security project to improve the livelihoods of vulnerable women and youth around the Senegambia Bridge.
3 years project will support women, youth, and communities to cope with the adverse impact of the construction of the Senegambia Bridge, while creating opportunities for women and youth to develop their full potential. Kule Adieme, country representative of the United Nations Population Fund, explains how the project will support women and youth economic empowerment in the regions.
We are indeed here to launch a project supported by the UN Human Security Trust Fund titled Localizing the Sustainable Development Goals, Improving the Livelihoods of Vulnerable Women and Young People around the Senegambia Bridge. This project will be a 2-year project that was developed to support communities and people around the bridge to cope with the adverse shocks created. The project will address the ecosystem along the corridor and provide community-oriented support, specifically focused on women and young people, and especially those whose livelihoods have been adversely affected by the construction of that beautiful Senegambia Bridge.
Raymond Musa, representative of the International Trade Center, said the project will establish training centers at Soma and Farafenni.
As a result, we have identified two flagship initiatives that we would like to pilot. One is an entrepreneurship one-stop shop that will be built in Farafenni with the support of GAIPA, where we will have the opportunity for business community, for youth, for women who enter into business to get their business registration, to get all the economic support that they require by going to a economic or a one-stop shop in Farafenni. In Lower River region, we said we will focus on the hospitality sector and will set up a hospitality training center that will be providing training to the different interested young people in the region so that they don't have to go to the campus. They can learn state-of-the-art knowledge and acquire that by staying in the region.
Landing B. Sane, the chairperson of the Mansukunka Area Council, said the project will support and improve the economic activity of the regions.
Localizing the SDGs, improving the livelihood of vulnerable women and youth around the Senegambia Bridge. I think this is very much explanatory of the nature of the project. We are trying to see how we improve, of course, on the livelihood of youth and women, linking it to the Senegambia Bridge.
In localizing the Sustainable Development Goals, the project aims to address unemployment, human security, and economic empowerment for women and young people around the Senegambia Bridge. Reporting for QTV News, I am Alhassan Ba.
From that story, we will go for a short commercial break. Because we have more stories to stay tuned.
Looking for the fastest and easiest way to receive money transfers from abroad? Well, QMoney and RIA just made it happen. Now you can receive international money transfer from RIA directly into your QMoney account with no additional cost. Once you receive an SMS alert about your transfer, walk into any QMoney agent across the country to receive your payment for free or use the money immediately to buy credit, QPower and other QMoney services. It's fast, safe and convenient. For more info, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Sinu Calpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. Now, World Animal Day is observed annually on October 4th to raise awareness about improving animal welfare across the globe. This year, in the Gambia, the event is being celebrated by the Horse and Donkey Trust and other animal welfare partners. Abibatu Sise reports.
Animal welfare is important because they are, among other things, our companions, our workers, our eyes and ears, and our food. Around the world, there are many animals suffering from being used for entertainment, medicine, fashion, scientific experiments, and as exotic pets. Some animals have been domesticated, while others remain in the wild. At the Animal Health and Welfare Center in Makasutu, the manager of the Gambia Horse and Donkey Trust, Lang Baba Sise, highlights the importance of animals, saying they play a significant role in the development of agriculture in the country. And he explains the importance of celebrating this day.
Animals are very important into our agriculture in the Gambia, even it's not in the Gambia. So we select this day to celebrate it so that we can remember about the animals, their benefiting, because the agriculture cannot go without the animals in this country this moment. So to select this day globally, to celebrate it, that is very good, and to remind others also how to take care of their animals.
All the animals in the ecosystem coexist to balance nature's ecology. Dr. Keba Dafe, an animal welfare advocate, commends the Gambia Horse and Donkey Trust for their service towards animal welfare and protection in the country. He calls for people to take animal welfare seriously.
It's unfortunate to say that the welfare of our working animals leaves much to be desired. We still have a lot of work to do. And it is in this vein that we think our venerable imams can play a role in creating awareness about animal welfare and religion.
Bakambay, the Imam of Lamen Mosque, spoke about the importance of having mercy towards animals in line with religion.
Nit ñi wara xam rab yi ban important lañ am ci seen dund.
It is important to know the importance of animals so we can coexist in peace. God gave animals brains, but they cannot speak like humans. Some people overburden their animals to a point where they cannot move, sometimes accompanied by beating. We should remember that animals can feel and should therefore exercise mercy.
World Animal Day also ensures that efforts continue to provide animals with better rescue shelters, launch better animal welfare programs, and raise funds for such initiatives, all geared towards their protection and conservation. For QTV News, I am Abibatu Sise.
Mother clubs on Thursday concluded 5-day training in business planning, production and entrepreneurship to better market their produce. The event was held in Mansa Kongkong in the LRR. Al-Hassan Ba again.
Training is part of the bioverification project to empower women farmers in their businesses. The 4-year program is targeting 300 mothers clubs and reaching out to 38,000 people in the country. This training will explore various strategies to market their produce. Malfred Bojang, United Proposed Biofortification Project Manager, explains how the training will empower the participants.
The project is called Biofortification, whose goal is to reduce micronutrition deficiencies in children and women through integrated approaches to food fortification.
Mr. Bojang further stated that the training is part of preparing farmers to be resilient to the changing market.
We also think it is important to also build their capacities to also see how they start marketing the bio-fortified crops alongside their vegetables that they are doing in their horticultural production. And this is why we think it is important for them to also understand some of the market concepts, some of the knowledge they need in terms of marketing.
Ntai Jaju, a member of the Marketing Federation, urges the participants to share with other members the knowledge gained during the training.
All the women here are from various regions and are part of federations. If you go back to your regions, extend the knowledge to others. This meeting is very important. It is about agriculture. Our living standards cannot improve without agriculture. So let us all embrace farming, especially the women.
After the 5 days training, participants are expected to be able to write business and production plans and become better entrepreneurs in marketing their produce. Reporting for QTV News, I am Al-Hassan Ba.
Now in sports news, the QCell Youth Cup has reached the final after intriguing semi-final ties over the weekend. Q City's under-15 and under-18 sides both made it to the final, while Medina United's under-15s and GYFA's under-18s progressed after their respective victories in the semi-finals. Our sports reporter, Momudu Gajaga, reports.
Two of the favorites in the competition, Q City and Golden Youth Football Academy, met in the semi-finals of the QCell Youth Cup in the under-15 category on Saturday, in what turned out to be an exciting encounter. Q City took an early lead just 30 seconds into the game, with Adama Job scoring the opener. Jibril Mane added a second goal before Bala Musa Sane pulled one back for Golden Youth Football Academy. Q City sealed the victory after an awful goalkeeping error by Gaifa Suleiman Sane, giving Jibril Mane the chance to complete a brace. Jibril Mane was excited at having scored a brace.
Okay, for contano de, that. Okay, most of them for la kotang. La for effort the art la proof final of an yeah. We know like la for we know that man.
In the final, Q City will face Medina United, who defeated Quantum FC 1-0 in Sunday's under-15 semi-final match. In Saturday's other semi-final at the under-18 category, Q City won 2-1 in dramatic fashion against Medina United, sealing their victory with almost the last kick of the game. Malanding Bojang had a fine run on the right before smashing his shot towards goal, which was turned into the net for an own goal. Before that dramatic conclusion, Medina United had recovered from the suck of conceding the early goal to claw their way back and level the scores at 1-1. Sang Mendy, the Medina United coach, described the defeat as hurtful and added that it was a learning process for his team too.
You can say it's heartbreaking, but this is the nature of the game. You can't run away from things like this. It would have been a different result if we have taken all our chances, like the opponent did, but it's a good learning curve for us.
Golden Youth Football Academy's under-18 side progressed to the final after a penalty shootout victory against Hans FC, following a goalless draw in regulation time. Mamudu Gajaga, QTV News.
Before we end, here's a recap of our main headlines. As the debate on the State of the Nation address begins, the Vice President, Dr. Aissatou Toure, on Monday assured National Assembly members, among other things, that the proposed civil service pay and grading structure will be presented to Cabinet in its next sitting. A Diaspora mentorship program to capture the developmental potential of migration is being implemented by the International Organization for Migration in coordination with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The International Trade Center, the Gambia, and local government authorities from North Bank and Lower River regions launched the United Nations Trust Fund for Human Security Project. In sports news, Q City's under-15 and under-18 sides both made it to the final of the QCell Youth Cup after intriguing semi-final ties over the weekend. Well, that's it from me in today's midday news. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.